Hey guys, what's up? It's Michelle Leath with UnlockYourPossibility.com. Welcome to another episode of Thirsty Thursday, where we talk about your possibility unlocking weekend reading material that you can always enjoy with a good glass of wine, hence the Thirsty Thursday. If you're wondering why I'm drinking so much wine, I think I've been watching a little too much Cougar Town lately. You could have tea instead or whatever you like to sip on while you read. So this week we're going to be talking about kind of a hot topic. And it's kind of a scary topic, but don't freak out. Here goes. Midlife crisis. So we hear a lot about this in the media. How do you know if you're having a midlife crisis? We all have a bad day and think, oh, I'm having a midlife crisis. But there's actually a great book that I want to share with you that had some really cool research done on women's midlife crisis, particularly how to tell if you're having one, what it means, how you can navigate it, and actually kind of a different perspective on midlife crisis as a huge possibility and opportunity for future happiness and growth and fulfillment in your life. So the book is called The Breaking Point by Sue Shellenbarger. The Breaking Point by Sue Shellenbarger. And she did some research with a whole bunch of women who had experienced midlife crisis and came up with some really interesting findings. One of the things that she talked about was that actually most women do go through midlife crisis, and the age range is not quite what we think. It actually can start as early as 35 into the mid-50s. So if you're in my peer group, ladies, us 40-ish something women, you know, there's a good chance you might be coming up to that point in your life. Maybe you've already been experiencing it. But here's what's cool about the book. It tells you that actually a midlife crisis is a really good thing. She describes that the months or years preceding a midlife crisis can be marked by sort of an emotional deadness, sort of a kind of a feeling of having lost your connection with yourself. And so if you're experiencing that, that's a great sign that you might be on the verge of, you know, some midlife turbulence. But there's some awesome stuff in here that can help you navigate that. So having lost your connection with yourself, she goes on to discover or to talk about, she's identified 7 different archetypes of midlife crisis. So these are ways that midlife crisis shows up. For example, the adventurer. This is the woman who decides to go bungee jumping and stuff like that, and, you know, the later phases of her life. The lover, so someone looking for a soulmate. The leader, the artist, the gardener, who's someone who actually realizes that she gets the most fulfillment from tending to and developing deeper connections with what's already in her life, which I think is pretty cool. And then also the seeker, which is more of a spiritual quest. She also talks about the modes of midlife crisis. Midlife crisis doesn't always mean that you're going to, you know, uproot, you know, ditch the whole family and run away with, you know, some Italian guy that you met online. It can be a more gradual process, and actually it can be a very healthy process. So she talks about different modes of midlife crisis. So that's really interesting. You can look for the other thing that I thought was really, really interesting about this book is that at the conclusion of the research, she found that the way a woman navigates midlife crisis has a profound effect on the quality of her life in old age. And that women who actually did make big midlife changes said that if given the chance to do it all again, they would embrace new undertakings even more wholeheartedly. So basically the conclusion of this book was that the biggest mistake is not having a midlife crisis at all. So the reason I wanted to share this book with you guys today is to kind of bust up that myth that midlife crisis is this freaky, scary, bad thing. It actually can be a huge opportunity, like I said. It can open up a whole new realm of possibilities for you if you give it a chance. And I recommend you go out and get the book and check it out. Again, it's a really quick read. I'm sharing with you quick reads because I know we all don't have a lot of time. But it might be just what you need to think about how you want to really show up in the later phases of your life and have the most fulfilling life that you possibly can. So with that, hope you guys have a great weekend. Cheers to your possibilities, and we'll talk next week.